All right, this is a quick and important one. How to protect your WRX's warranty if you're not tuned in your stock or if you are tuned. No matter what you do, I'm gonna give you the exact playbook to how to protect your WRX's warranty. And yes, this applies if you're tuned because you still have a warranty if you're tuned. You just might get a warranty denial claim, but it's up to Subaru to prove to you that something that you've done has affected whatever you're claiming has broken under the warranty. So here's the playbook on the best way to protect your warranty, full stop. Watch the whole video, you will learn something, start doing all of these things, and if you don't do all of these things and you need to get something fixed under warranty, even if you're completely stock, you're not safe. You must do all of these things. The one thing that I need to tell you is a lot of people are under the impression that if they just drive their car and it's stock and they haven't tuned it, that if something breaks, it's under warranty. You are wrong. You must do the normal maintenance. You must do everything Subaru says you have to do at the exact schedule. And if you don't do that, they will deny your warranty, full stop. So let's go through what you need to do. If you find this video interesting or you want to learn more about cars, Subarus, WRXs, you know it, subscribe to the channel, let's get into it. Again, guys, this applies on whether you're tuned or not because you are in the same bucket. So if you're tuned, follow these things, or there'll be two other specific things if you're tuned at the end, but everything's the same if you're stocked and tuned at first. So first off, again, if you're stock, you have to do this too. You must do all of your scheduled maintenance and document it. You don't necessarily need to do it at a dealer, but you must document it. If you do your maintenance yourself, keep the receipts of what you put in it, oil-wise, and date it. You need to keep a logbook. If you, let's say your engine blows up in your stock and you're like, I'm under warranty, I'm gonna go get it changed, Subaru to some extent will require proof that you've done the maintenance. In the underwriting specifically, they're going to ask for receipts for your oil and things like that. You might be like, that's crazy. They will do that because remember, this is a lot of money for them. A lawyer is making this decision, not a tech. Some dealerships need money and they will do it anyways because they're getting warranty work for it and they need the business. But if you get to a busy dealer and that's the dealer that gets it, they may deny you. So on-time maintenance, at the intervals that they require, and if you do it yourself, document it. If you go to a shop, keep the receipts if it's not Subaru. Subaru, if you go to Subaru, they will log it, but you don't necessarily need to go to Subaru. You have the right to do your own maintenance and maintain a warranty, but you must document all of it. Receipts. Not just for maintenance, for literally everything. Minus basically the gas, but receipts. Keep receipts for every single thing you do. Every time you get your tires balanced, every time you get new tires, every time you get your alignment done, keep receipts literally for everything. You do not know what's gonna break on your car, and if you're not an engineer, you do not know how these systems interact. For example, if you have something that goes wrong in, let's say, a control arm, they might ask for your most recent 3 or 4 alignment receipts if you have 40,000 miles on your car. If you haven't done an alignment 3 or 4 times in 40,000 miles, they are going to deny your warranty claim up front. You will need to provide receipts. If you cannot provide receipts, they will basically say the lack of alignment caused the control arm to fail. Same thing with a coilover, a wheel bearing, you name it. These systems are tied together. You know, it's not just that part, you have to prove that part. Simply saying, oh, you don't have proof that you did an alignment is enough proof for Subaru to deny a warranty claim. They don't have to do some crazy engineering. That's good enough because you agree to that up front when you get the warranty. Remember, warranties are underwritten. You're agreeing to work under their rules. You don't just get magically protected against everything. Now, if you're stock, that's basically everything. You just have to do your maintenance and keep all your receipts. If you're tuned, you need to do that as well. Now, if you're tuned or you plan on getting tuned, the next 2 things are specifically for you. Now, if you maintain being stock, you should probably watch the next 2 things because this will tell you a little bit about what you could be getting into if you get to that far. So I highly recommend it. The first thing is proper installs. You must properly install all the aftermarket parts that you put on this car prior to the tune. For the most part, that means going to somebody that's professional or knowing exactly what you're doing, because one of the things a Subaru tech will do is typically it's an enthusiast. If they're looking over your car and something has failed, they will be able to see if an aftermarket part has been properly or not properly installed. You also have kind of evidence based on how it's properly installed or how it's been installed. So you can kind of do like an investigation and see based on the wear patterns or if clips have been taken off. Like for example, if you take your intercooler off, a tech a year later will know that you took the stock intercooler off at some point because they will see that the hose clamps have marginally changed their rotation or there's evidence of a change on a reclamp. So it is easy to diagnose things on the car. So that's number one. The other thing is if you're tuned and you want to maintain the warranty for as long as physically possible, this is my biggest recommendation. Strip your car down to stock and take it in once a year to a Subaru dealership for a regular service. That is a ton of work, but if you want to best protect yourself, show proof on paper that you've showed up to Subaru once a year for an oil change or a regular service with a stock WRX. It's expensive, it's a lot of work, it's time consuming, but it is the #1 way to protect your warranty if you are a tuned WRX. Now it's not going to fully protect it, but it's going to reduce the risk the most amount that you're going to get flagged for driving a tuned WRX. And it's going to create this basis of like, if they're really looking at it, the second look, if they don't believe you, is the fact that they have evidence that you came in once a year to an approved Subaru dealer and you were stock. So at the very least, you're kind of fluffing the numbers a little bit. And I'm not trying to say be nefarious or disingenuous, but it is just a way of making it on paper look like you were taking care of your car. And that's it. This was a quick video. If you do those 4 things, if you're tuned, you've got the best possible chance. If you're stock and you do the first 2 things, you're pretty much ironclad. Unfortunately, if you're tuned, there's no such thing as being ironclad. You're always at risk. But if you do those 4 things, you have the best chance of maintaining your warranty. And I'm not going to give you any more fluff. There's nothing else you need to know. Everybody else has this like magic thing, use a JB4, use all these things that doesn't tell the engine what's happening. It's all BS. There's master data on these cars that we can't access. It's all being logged. So all you can do is protect yourself and do the best you can to maintain the rules of the warranty that Subaru writes. And just remember, Subaru wrote the warranty in their own interest. It is a marketing technique. It's nothing more. It's not really there to protect you. They know that if they offer the warranty and they build the car right, that there won't be a lot of warranty claims. It actually doesn't cost them that much money. You feel good about it, but just remember, it's not something that's on your side. It is always going to be on Subaru's side, and it's written that way. So just make sure you operate within their rules of the game. And if you play the game that they've set up, you're most likely to win inside of their game if you've got a problem. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys in the next one.